This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I am one of your hosts, PC Muscle Race, myself, LeRon Dawkins, and alongside me as always is the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
What's poppin'?
All right, I like it.
You're stepping up to be the boss man. I'm kind of
That's right.
changing up the roles.
That's right. So we call you the Nintendo Pharmacist?
Maybe. I don't know.
The Nintendo Doctor?
She's
we
been kind
be
of on
after-
the PlayStation.
Yeah, I've been
right
very
now.
Sony heavy too lately, so.
Yeah, I've noticed that, yeah. And also in the house tonight is the one, the only PK Power, Pat Klein himself. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, power level is like 25%. So
All right, so we need to talk trash about Corey for a moment here. Like, how come he can go to Disney and don't take any of us with him? What is up with that? You know,
I can fit into a suitcase, so he has no excuses.
I feel like we're just as much his family as his family is.
yeah, his kids have gone to Disney more than I ever have.
Right? Yeah. I've been in Disney 3 times in my life, and his kids have, and like his daughter has already been there more times than I have, and his son is the second one, right?
Probably.
I guess the first one doesn't count because he couldn't even absolutely remember that one.
He's
Pretty
still
sure
a
he
good
might-
to remember.
Yeah.
Wait! His son is 3 years old now, right? Is he 3? Yeah, he's 3, right? I think so.
You usually don't retain memory until you're closer to like 6.
Right.
This is why I waited as long as I did to take Nikolai to Nintendo World. I'm like, you better remember what I've done for you. So,
How y'all doing tonight?
sick.
Yeah, I'm fighting something too. I don't know what, but it's kicking my ass right now.
Well, I just want you to know, keep y'all's cooties over there.
Want me to wear a mask, LeRon?
Hey, you know what? Every little bit counts.
All right,
Get
that
the
means
sanitizer out.
that means I'll take my usual remedy and go to bed right now.
Don't you dare.
You know how you have those Facebook memories, and the one popped up for yesterday or today was 1 year ago today, you posted this meme, and this meme is like of SpongeBob all sick and stuff at the Krusty Krab when you're at work for 3 weeks in a row and you're sick. So literally this time last year, I was sick for 3 weeks, and this is my 3rd week of being sick. I'm like, life is cruel.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
I did take a sick day from work today. I did take a trip to the Chinese market with my mom because we're preparing for Chinese New Year. We're having a big Chinese New Year's Eve dinner on Friday.
When does that start? Actually, I forgot.
So Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year in itself is Saturday, but we celebrate the eve of the New Year, which is Friday.
Okay.
It's the Year of the Dragon, big year. So, we don't get to go to the Chinese market very often, and they always have cool and unusual stuff that would probably freak out the average American.
Mm.
Powder seahorse, white rhino penis.
I guess not that cool. They got
Okay.
jellyfish parts, ox spleen, liver. What's up,
I'm
Lauren?
sorry. I can't eat the exotic animal organ meat. I can't. Like, I'm one of those people. As soon as I know what it is, like, it determines whether or not I eat it.
But it provides
okay.
virility and strength and future
Stuff.
benefits that have not been recorded by modern medicine.
Right? Yeah.
Listen, I've been exposed to a lot of that stuff, and even then, there, like for example, I forgot if it was liver or kidney, one of those organs. The texture is just so. Oh,
It's
like
kidney. It's kidney.
Oh.
I accidentally had some kidney, and I was like, why do people eat this? Like, I don't mind liver, and I've had heart. Like I've had beef heart, which I'd rather not anymore. What else?
If you were given a blinded taste test, I feel like those parts are at least could maybe be masked. But yeah, maybe it's kidney. It's like something about the texture. It's so nasty.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I know. Anytime I'm eating liver, because like I can taste the high iron content.
oh, so yeah, sick and Chinese New Year. So, uh, Pat, you said you're sick. You're just probably starting to get a cold, or
I don't know. My stomach wasn't right yesterday, and it got like my head hurts and my nose just feels like it's on fire. So,
jack up that vitamin C, some zinc if you can.
Zinc. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? At least you're clocking in an illness early February, so you get it out of the way when Pix comes around.
Yeah.
here's hoping.
Yeah, sorry you're not feeling good, Pat. I feel better.
Thank
How
you.
about you,
Yeah.
LeRon? You said work's kicking your butt?
Yeah, like work's been keeping me busy lately, which is a good problem to have, and stuff like that, because like the more and more like things keep coming my way as far as work wise goes, like the more and more I actually have money from my PAX fund. So yeah, that's what I'm pushing towards, and of course I'm getting ready for Valentine's Day, which like it's
Hmm.
number 3 for me and the boyfriend, so
Ooh,
yeah, yeah, like things are moving along.
great, man. I kind of forgot about Valentine's Day. Whoops.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, when you're a pandemic couple, it helps it helps you keep track of like how long things have happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we were official during the 2021 year of the pandemic.
Hmm. Okay. Do you have any special plans, or that part's not figured out yet?
Just nothing's really figured out besides dinner.
Okay. Yeah,
Besides
good
dinner.
start.
Yeah,
It's a
like I haven't even
Wednesday,
planned.
I think, right?
Yes, yeah, it's a Wednesday. But we're gonna
2
do
days
something.
from now.
We're gonna do something this weekend for it. Yeah. All right. Well, enough of that. Let's go into some housekeeping real quickly. Did you know that the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network are heading to PAX East? Well, you do now. You'll be able to find us roaming the show floor. So if you're there, please come and say hi. We'll be covering the event as part of the media. We'll also be demoing games, conducting interviews, and recording a podcast or two live from the event. So make sure you keep your eye on BossRush.net and your YouTube channel for that. And our YouTube channel for that. PAX East is taking place in Boston March the 21st to the 24th. So get your badges now and come say hello.
I was gonna say, I believe we're down to the wire is when people can secure their passes. I think it's February 11th.
Well, I got mine.
Good.
I got my email saying that I'm in there.
Well, not just any pass, press pass,
Yeah,
dude.
the
That's
press
pretty
pass. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So I feel like once the window closes, then they will reveal who the vendors are. So it's gonna be very exciting. And just to reiterate, this is gonna be the largest Boss Rush presence at a PAX. So hope to see
Woohoo!
people there.
Yeah, damn right. All right. Speaking of Boss Rush, if you want to support the Boss Rush podcast as well as the Boss Rush Network, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Yeah, Boss Rush Network, where you can get this show 1 week early and ad free, and all the other perks like early access to podcasts, other podcasts, voting rights, and more at the tiers that's right for you. Again, that's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. If you can't contribute financially, it's no big deal. Your viewership and listenership is enough for us. If you're watching the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up on this video, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when new episodes go live. It really helps. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave our show a 5-star rating and a nice review. It really helps with our visibility and discoverability. Remember, you can always find new episodes of all of our podcasts, articles, reviews, and more over at the website, bossrush.net. You can also grab merch for your favorite show at on our T Public store. Wow, I almost screwed that up. Our T Public store. Head to our website and click the store icon or click the link in the show notes to browse over 40 designs from the Boss Rush Network, including our new Heritage and Pride shirts and hoodies. I guess I should talk about this giveaway thing that Corey wants us to do, right?
Oh, it's even more relevant now, right?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hell yeah! Especially if you've been keeping track of the state of play that just happened. We're giving away Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for PlayStation 5. To enter, subscribe to the Busters Network on YouTube and comment the word Buster in all caps on this video, or look for our post on Patreon if you're a patron at any level. If you are a Patreon subscriber, you automatically receive 2 entries if you comment Buster on the pinned giveaway post. The winner will be announced on Bossverse Network Twitter and Instagram accounts on Monday, February 26th. So follow at Bossverse Network on all the socials to find out. By the way, this contest is only for eligible for people in the United States. So please, if please let us know if we have to like send it to someone else. Please, like that would do us a big favor. Besides,
And
uh,
we're not limiting it to North American release because we're jerks. It's purely a shipping issue.
it's a
So we're
shipping
not
issue. It's a
we're
shipping
not
issue.
mean or elitist or anything. It's just a shipping issue.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Okay, so you know what? I don't know. Like we always do the same old thing when we do what we've been playing. I'm looking at the notes for what we've been playing and what we're going to talk about. Should we mix it up and have someone talk about someone else's what they've been playing?
Talk about someone else's been playing.
Yeah, we'll talk about basically the way it goes. Like you guys see what I've been playing already.
Okay.
Anyone that's familiar with that can just go ahead and start talking about those topics.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's something different. It's something screwy. We don't have to do it, but I was just like, let's just do something off the cuff.
Oh,
Besides,
that reminds
Corey's
me. Thank
Corey's away. He'd never let us do this if he was here.
So, like, if I was looking at yours, I can probably only speak to Tekken 8, right? So I'll start there.
Yeah, yeah. If you want.
Um, yeah, I started Tekken 8. Well, as you know, LeRon, because I was texting like, why does my screen look all weird? I can only play bubble. Anyway, I'm really liking it. I didn't play a lot of it because coincidentally I was playing a bunch of other things, but overall, the soundtrack slaps. I love the list of characters. Coincidentally, LeRon, I think your main is my main or our favored main, and that's Victor. What a
Oh,
great
really?
addition. His move sets are great. They're
Yo,
fun
he's
and
he's so smooth. Oh my god.
exactly. And I mean, he's easy on the eyes for a silver fox, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just he was really impressive.
I like like it's been a while since I just like gravitated to a brand new Tekken character like right off the
Hmm.
bat because I normally almost always since Tekken 5 I've almost always played with the same character as my main when the games first come out, and then I'll move on to a different character. But this is the first time I was like, you know what, I'm usually an Asuka Kazama person, and it's been that way since her debut in Tekken 5. And I was going through the roster. I saw Victor, and I saw his intro, and I was like, "Holy crap! This dude has a sword, knives, and guns. Like I want to check him out." And he's wearing the suit. I was like, "Yo!" And he's got those baller ass glasses.
Yes, seriously, like I like gravitated toward that character immediately. I mean, granted, I cycled through, like I practiced with everybody's move set. As we said before, yeah, I too like to stick with who I knew. And back in Tekken 4, I used to play with Lee slash Violet because he had this really cool kick takedown that I would just cheese the heck out of it. Don't like him here. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
I embarrassed. I embarrassed a Lee player a couple nights ago in a ranked battle because
Mhm,
because all he was literally doing was just throwing out like moves and stuff like that. So once I figured out that he was just being an absolute nut about things, like I just kind of baited him to like start doing like the wild shit, and then just like totally scrubbed him out.
so
I
I
even
just
I even saved the replay.
oh man, yeah, I wasn't impressed with him anymore. So that's where like I'm gonna start, excuse me, using new characters. Yoshimitsu is one that I never could master before, but he was easier for me to get a hold of this time around. He's a lot of fun. I love his design.
Mhm.
And what's the robot guy? Something eight.
Jack 8.
Jack eight. Like not my style, but when I was playing when my son was in the room, so we would take turns picking what character to try out. And he's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'll pick," because of course he's like the biggest guy and massive and whatever. I'll admit, I had some pretty easy battles with him.
Oh yeah, Jack's a solid character.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to maybe this weekend trying out the actual story mode. But I'm glad I picked it up because I held out when Street Fighter 6 came out. I held out when Kombat 1 came out. All of them seemed to do pretty well. But then in the coming of Tekken 8, I'm like, all right, out of all the three, I have kind of the biggest history with Tekken.
Mhm.
So I'm glad I kind of re-entered the franchise after a long hiatus. Did you
Um,
play through
mm,
the entire story?
I'm gonna start. I was actually planning on starting a story. I actually plan on starting a story before like we record tonight's podcast.
Mhm.
But but I was busy with work.
Mhm.
Also like I was at the break of my day for a doctor's appointment and stuff like that, so I had to
Mhm.
get back to work after that. So like I didn't really have time. Only thing I had really time to do was like eat dinner and stuff. But I'll probably drag the Rogue Ally in the bed with me because I got Tekken 8 loaded on it, and I'll
Nice.
spend a little bit of time on it before I go to bed tonight. Um, I like the game so far though. And they just released a patch, like the first patch for the game and everything. So like yeah, like 7 different characters have gotten nerfs or things changed about their moveset and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
really?
some people are already crying.
Well, of
Yeah,
course. Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah,
Alright.
but I'm liking the game. I feel like this is a fresh Tekken entry. Like I
Mhm.
really do. And it's crazy saying considering that there's 8 main games. There's been 2 tag team games, tag tournament games and stuff like that. So technically, it's a 10 game franchise. Um, if you don't count Tekken Revolution, Revolution was like a free to play game, and so that considering like okay, so they had 11 official titles in the Tekken franchise and stuff like that.
Okay.
I really wish I'd played that mobile game like back when it was a thing. Like yeah, there was a mobile game and I want to say after a year and a half, like the servers shut down and stuff like that. So I was kind of
Mhm.
glad I didn't get into it, but at the same time,
Got it.
I'm kind of mad I missed it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. So as soon as I get a little more proficient with Victor and stuff like that, I'll probably start playing with Oscar. Just so I can just pad the ranks because I think right now like I've gone through I'm in the rank mode right now with Victor and I want to say I'm 11th or 12th Dan right now, so I'm in the yellow ranks now. Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
real soon I'll be Mighty Ruler, which I think is like 15.
Sweet. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I said, Victor's a blast. All
Yeah, absolutely.
right, since you talked about one of my games that you also happen to be playing, I can talk about one of your games that I actually played. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. That's one of the games Stephanie's been playing. And first of all, let me just say this: Uncharted Drake's Fortune is the reason why I bought a PS3 back when they were the most expensive consoles on the market.
Wow.
uh, there's like there's this magic about Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And all I can say is like it's the charisma of the main character Nathan Drake himself and stuff like that. Like he's got that whole Indiana Jones like swashbuckler thing going on and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you're in the game and it plays definitely like it's Tomb Raider meets Indiana Jones to a certain extent. But also you can honestly tell that Nathan Drake is modeled after Nathan Fillion. And that's where it's funny because like he has the mannerisms and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, Drake's Fortune. How far are you in it?
I'm in the scene right after the whole Nazi EU sub thing and
Okay,
Sully.
you're still in
Mhm.
the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still kind of early, and I honestly just once I got well, I've been sick, but once I got hit like super sick the last few days, it's one of those things where there's sick where you just lie in bed play video games, but then there's you're so sick your mind can't even enjoy video games. Like that's how sick I've been. Like I can't even muster the brain power, or else I probably would have gotten farther. So I recognize I'm still pretty early, but
Mhm.
I like it so far. Um, for a few reasons because when you're playing more modern games, sometimes it's difficult to go back and enjoy the older games, whether you've played them or not. There are plenty of games that I've enjoyed on the N64, for example, loved them back then, but it's very hard to go back to and love it the same.
Mm.
Um, for a PS3 game, man, it looks pretty dang good.
It
I
looks like a
was,
modern. It looks like a modern game.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if you
You're
really
using the
scrimp,
remaster version, right? The PS4 remaster.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Are you?
it's like the Drake's
The Drake.
collection.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
PS4 remaster. So a little upgrade in the graphics there.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, obviously if you
Mhm.
nitpick, like obviously, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Still looks great. Took some screenshots. That's how much
Mhm.
I didn't mind it. They had some of that. You don't see it in modern game anymore, like fixed camera angles. Like in a non-action sequence when you're going through this U sub thing, it's got the fixed camera angles, and I thought about it, I'm like, "You know what? I wouldn't mind if that came back for certain scenarios." Obviously, it has to be used in the right context because it does
Mhm.
build a little bit of suspense, like, "Ooh, what are you walking towards?" or whatever. So I actually kinda miss that, and I feel like it was used appropriately. It's not like I'm walking with that perspective into battle. That's different. Um, and one thing at first I thought was bad, but I'm actually enjoying is it it starts out very simple. Let me know if it changes. Like there weren't the only collectibles was I found two treasures so far, but it's different. Like modern games, there's so much shit everywhere for you to collect, do, read this,
You
that.
might
Like
have
this,
missed. You
Oh,
might have
Uncharted.
missed like 10 treasures.
Yeah, Uncharted has. I want to say. I want to say every single Uncharted game has at least 40 treasures to find, and that's not including like. There's a relic. There's a relic in every. The original three Uncharted games had a relic. It was kind of like a callback to
Mhm.
Naughty Dog's history, because like you have the precursor orb, which was a thing from the Jack and Daxter series, and
oh yeah, no.
the first three games had them.
Well, I think
Mhm.
I am. Like, I picked up the first one, and it says you picked up the first out of 60 whatever treasures. No, but I just mean, like when I played the most recent Tomb Raider game, I just feel like it's more than just you have collectibles. There's just a lot going on. Here you have a
Mhm.
story, and then you have collectibles, like one set of collectibles in the story. It just, for me, it's very uncomplicated. There's a lot of collectibles, but it's not complicated. And
No,
I
you
actually
have to really be looking for them to collect them. Like they shimmer just very slightly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
So,
I don't know if I'm getting my point across, but I like the
Mhm.
simplicity of it. Like
Yeah, you don't have to
no
get them. There's no benefit to getting
yeah, you
any
don't
of
have to
the
get them.
treasures
so
other than
and
just
I love
lore.
Sully.
Mhm.
I like Sully, so anyway, that's our February book club, so that's why I kind of picked it up. It's I don't know why I never got into Uncharted, so this is a great opportunity for me to do so. So
Mhm.
there you go.
No, I will agree. There's still something magical about Uncharted. Honestly, for
Mhm.
me, it's the soundtrack. Like the music just plays at the most perfect. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
the most perfect score during the most perfect times, and
Mm-hmm.
just even the theme song. Do 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 do.
I
Do, 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 do. You know,
I
it's
really oh sorry. I'm sorry.
no.
I thought you were done. I'm so sorry.
Do, 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 do. Okay,
All
I'm
right.
done.
I would love someone to write a boss rush banter because I'm not qualified for it to kind of debate who's better or what's the better adventure franchise. We're not going to include Indiana Jones at the moment because there's been a long time since Indiana Jones has been in the gaming picture, but Tomb Raider versus Uncharted.
Uncharted
I
has the
think.
better story. Tomb Raider has the better set pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. I think overall majority I think overall though majority is gonna say it's Tomb Raider because like there's so much there's a much bigger legacy with Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
back with pyramid boobs and all this stuff, there's and like really short shorts and all that stuff,
Yeah, for me, Tomb Raider is about the traps, the temples. It's a lot more action than Uncharted. Uncharted's more about the exploration and the journey.
Yeah,
Mm.
and the platforming.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. I figured Tomb Raider for me had the more platforming. and some of the worst platforming. Because
Some of the worst, yeah, that's true.
if you weren't precise on some of those jumps and maneuvers, you pretty much fell right into a trap and died instantly.
Nice. Well,
Both are good though.
maybe I can turn this now towards Pat's direction. I'll start and then Pat can finish. Both he and I played Silent Hill: The Short Message.
Hmm.
First game I actually recorded too, audio only. And be proud of me, guys. It's the first Silent Hill game I've ever played.
First Silent Hill and a first-person horror game.
It's
Something you said,
Soma.
huh? Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say you refused to play the first-person like Resident Evil, so
I still want
Well,
her to play Dead Space.
well, she
I,
might move
I
it.
I'm more willing to play Dead Space than Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. That I will never, ever, ever.
Like I'm still trying to give myself the courage to play Resident Evil 7.
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
guys, Seven's
so
awesome.
no, I
Eh,
quality wise it is. I'm just too chicken to.
I
Um,
don't like first person horror games. Like I don't know, like there's something about it. Like I'd rather play like games like Dead Space and stuff where like stuff is behind you, so it's just the bad camera angle that could get you sniped versus like, oh, it's right here in your face, like getting there,
yes.
you know.
Well, that's my point exactly. But I just felt like, again, Silent Hill's one of those franchises that I've missed out on for many obvious reasons since they're working on the remake of 2 and they just dropped this one for free. I'm like, "Oh, I have to. Like I have to. I have to start somewhere." And I figured, we were right that if it was a free game, it's probably a short game. Um and I did like it. I don't get why so many people poo-pooed it on the internet and gave it a bad score. And Pat, you can elaborate on how it's technically not your traditional gameplay for Silent Hill, but as far as quality, for a free game, looks great, overall enjoyable. To me, it was scary, and it carries the essence of what I know Silent Hill, which is psychological horror and punishing people who did something bad, or supposedly something bad, quote unquote.
See, that's
Pat.
also why I'm not a Silent Hill fan. Like I don't like my games to fuck with me and play with my emotions. Like if you're gonna scare me, just fucking scare me.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.
Zelda.
Lay it on us. Tell us
Yeah.
about your experience and your thoughts on the short message.
All right. I will say right off the bat, the short message was a good game. As someone who has played all the Silent Hills minus the multiplayer PSP one, the Book of Memories or whatever, because I never had a PSP, this definitely fits the theme of Silent Hill. It is that whole mentality of your mind, like the world is warped because of your mind, and you're trying to battle your psychological demons as well as a physical demon that's chasing you in this one. Well, the design was nice. I'm not sure, like, well, the demon itself kind of was fuzzy. I'm not like the other demons from Silent Hill are jittery, like twitchy and like tweaking. This one just seemed like it was just bad graphics a little bit,
Oh.
but
See, I was debating whether or not that was like intentionally done that way. I'm like, whoa.
it could have been. Like, honestly, I don't think they intended you to just stare at the demon while it was walking towards you. Like, they wanted you to kind of run away from it the second you saw. Um, but yeah, in terms of tradition, it definitely was not your traditional Silent Hill. There's no combat involved with this one, which probably upsets a lot of people because
That
they.
might be a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
Because
I mean there's two different
I
kind
feel
of
like
horrors.
Silent Hill's always had the clunkiest battle system. It didn't matter which Silent Hill game.
Yeah, well, you have your survival horrors where you can fight back, and then you have the ones that you can't. Like your clock towers and haunting ground. So you're just kind of left to run, and that's kind of what this one is. Granted, the chase scenes are scripted to the point
Mhm.
like the demon's not just gonna randomly show up in a room like Mr. X, but they are scripted. And while the first few are good, the last one is actually a little bit annoying and tedious because they don't
Yes.
tell you that you need to find items while you're being chased around. Um, so
Yeah,
that
you
one,
just figure it out.
yeah, that one is a lot of pointing or a lot of trial and error. But overall, the story itself actually hits really hard. There is a massive, I think, in the minds of those who struggle mentally, especially those with suicidal thoughts, the I felt like it really portrayed like the anxiety that you have when you're suicidal. Just how things are just completely starting to become uncontrollable and frantic, and you have literally no choice but to accept that this is finality. Um, I thought that it really did a good job portraying that. It it's not a story for the light of heart though. It's
Mm-mm.
it's pretty damn intense for the thought patterns that your main character Anita, as well as what some of her friends are going through.
Mhm.
But if you can stomach it, it's definitely a story that is worth a listen. And it's short. It's free, and you can finish it in 2 hours.
Yep.
So
Agree. I agree with all aspects. I appreciate how Konami went and experimented with the non-combat system. And once again, like this is what I don't understand about these gamers that get pissed when developers try something different, and then they get pissed when they do the same thing.
mhm.
So it just kind of grinds my gears.
It's
So I don't know.
because they want to find something to complain about. That's it. You
Yeah.
cannot make them happy.
True.
Yeah. Dude, that last bit with finding the 5 photos, in addition to not knowing that ahead of time,
Hmm.
like, I mean, you can kind of hear the creature coming because I was wearing headphones, but still, there are times where I would just open the door, be like, ah, how the heck did you get there? And I have to start over again.
No, one of the
And
cool
it's,
things is the Silent Hill does do the static, which is the key. The key for you.
mm,
You had not played a Silent Hill game, but in prior Silent Hills, the static is indicating that the monster is close,
mm,
and your phone starts really freaking out when the monster gets close. So that was one of your key indicators there.
all right.
Sorry.
So, Pat, um,
Overall thoughts on the game though.
I liked it. Well, as far as much as I could like a first-person horror. Like, I think it was well done. And I'm looking forward to what Konami has in store for the franchise.
Yeah. This was definitely a better attempt than the movie one that they just are doing right now.
Oh, oh
The
yeah.
interactive version.
Ascension or something.
Yeah,
Silent
that
Hill something.
this one I feel is definitely a lot better than that.
Oh,
So
my last comment. Again, poo-poo to the people that keep talking trash about it because it's not like PT. Listen, yes, there were certain aspects of it that made me think of PT because you do like loop back in a couple scenarios. But I'm like, you can't just make these comparisons. You have to judge it by its own thing. So
mhm. Yep. All right. So it's my turn to talk about someone else's video game.
If you want,
I
if
think
you want,
you and
I think we did a very good job of like at least spotlighting one game that we were either familiar with or had played from
I was
each
gonna say,
other's
I think
list.
you and LeRon played a demo that I didn't
Mhm.
play that you can
Well,
talk about.
he didn't play the
Actually,
demo.
I
He
have not played the demo. So
Oh,
Pat, you can go ahead and talk about the demo if you want.
I'm sorry.
All right.
That's okay.
So yesterday there was an amazing state of play. Yesterday, but for all you in listener land, it's probably been a week now. Sony dropped the second part of their state of play, which is 20 minutes of Final Fantasy Rebirth, where they went into extreme spoilerific territories of how the story runs, introduced some characters, some cool callbacks, even to like bringing Crisis Core into the actual game. Like there's a character from Crisis Core that wasn't in the original Final Fantasy that now is in Rebirth, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Uh, but they showed a lot of gameplay. They showed a lot of the mini games. The dolphin looks just like a wave race game, so something for you, Steph, is playing wave race but riding on a dolphin instead of a jet ski. They said they revamped other mini games like the Parade March mini game is now revamped. Uh, the fighting mini game that you fight in the gold saucer, that one has a cool callback and looking like old Final Fantasy VII sprites again, so they're all blocky looking. Of course, it's got the chocobo racing. They showed all the various types of chocobos, from the ones that can climb to the ones that can swim to the ones that can fly. So cool callback to the chocobo breeding. I'm kind of curious if that's going to be like a full-on mini game in this one, or if they're just going to kind of give it to you. But the demo itself is two parts. We don't have the second part yet. They said that one's still going to be released in the next like few weeks here before the game comes out. But the
Okay.
first part is the classic Fall of the Hero in Nibelheim arc, where Cloud is explaining his first encounters with Sephiroth when they go on to a mission back to his hometown, and how Sephiroth kind of goes from a upstanding guy to um, just complete like murderous like SOB. But it is gorgeous. My gosh. You walk into Nibelheim and just the whole 3D renderings and how like the city itself is actually kind of built on a mountain. You don't get that experience in the original Final Fantasy because it's, flat overhead view. But like there's height to the city. Like there's different tiers of like where the buildings are located, and it's got like farm patches now and a heck of a lot more citizens to make it look like it's a full-fledged town. And then when you finally leave the town and start climbing up the mountain, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. You walk in, you see the mountain off in the distance, and that's when kind of credits start crawling while you're wandering, like you're going from the town to the mountain, and it's like a small like dip into a valley before you start really climbing up this thing, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like this game is beautiful. There's conversations going on while you're moving around. Even like a lot of the dialogue is very reminiscent from the OG game, such as talking to the shopkeeper and her two kids, kind of repeating things that she says. One, kind of like exactly like the mother says, and then the youngest one's, says something a little like kiddier in that sense, or even just like the conversations you have with Cloud's mom is exactly like the flashbacks. Um, and then also, like the very first fight that you step off into the game throws you a curveball is that you're not playing as Cloud, you're playing as Sephiroth.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's the first time someone, well, I think other than like Descendia, that Sephiroth is actually playable. And it's holy crap, that guy is fast. Like he moves like lightning. It kind of gives you that show of just how powerful he was even before he like becomes batshit crazy. And it's cool that they let you experience that. The cutscenes are great. They introduce a piano mini game in this Final Fantasy, where not like in the original game you can kind of play the piano, but it's just like a little cutscene where Cloud just like bangs some keys. This one, it's a full-fledged keys with using your thumbsticks, and like it's almost a rhythm game where this like wave kind of comes from the inner circle and goes to the outer circle. And once it hits the outer circle, you hit the joystick in that direction, and it plays a key. And you got to play Tifa's theme as like a little mini game, and it is beautiful. And honestly, today I just checked Twitter, and people are actually making renditions of other songs
I
using
knew
this
it.
Oh,
keyboard.
that's
Like
cool. That's cool.
someone, Simple and Clean. Someone posted "Simple and Clean" on the keyboard.
Oh.
I quoted it on Twitter, so if you follow me, give it a check out. It's freaking awesome. Um, and yeah, it's like I am super excited for this game. Like they have
Mhm.
this game is like exactly how you pictured a modern day Final Fantasy VII. It is huge. It is gorgeous. It is hitting those towns. You're getting reminiscence of that story, but it's also bringing in something new that you're not sure how is it all going to play out. Like you almost have like two different worlds now that Zack's back in the picture and not deceased, and like it's what's going to happen. Is it going to run to the conclusion that a lot of people think it's going to run to, or something completely different? And it's just like
It's
this.
Revelations.
Yeah, I seriously believe that this is going to be the best Final Fantasy game out there. Like,
All right, now I have to
I
ask a
can.
really
I
dumb
can.
question.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
I might not be now. This is where I got confused, Laurent. The one that you're going to talk about, is that the first of the three part of the remake,
Yes.
Intergrade?
Yeah.
So,
Integrate. Yeah.
do you think someone can play Rebirth without playing Intergrade?
No.
they'll probably have
No.
they that has a
They
story
might
so
do like.
far.
Yeah. They might have. They might do what Mass Effect did.
Hmm.
Yeah, they like the demo itself has a story so far, cinematic.
Hmm.
Um, and if it's something that you want to do, I say go for it. Like, but Final Fantasy VII, you can technically beat that one within 20 to 30 hours.
Yeah.
Intergrade or
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah, integrate. Yeah, integrate is not a long game.
okay,
It's not a long game
hmm
like your traditional RPGs are. Like most
okay? Because
most
yeah, now
most
now
modern
I'm like I
RPGs.
gotta play it.
You have to
Yeah,
play it seriously. I'm not
yeah.
gonna.
No, you'd be doing yourself a disservice because like I'm telling you like how I talked about how like sometimes I have a hard time beating a game because like I don't want to say goodbye to the characters
Hmm.
because it's not even about the replay factor because there's some games I pick up and put down and like I know like I'm only going to beat it and I'm going to move on. There's other games that I will play over and over and over again like The Last of Us, Uncharted games, Mega Man games. Jesus Christ.
hmm
And but yeah, like this is one of those ones where like you're going to grow to love the characters and stuff like that, and you're probably going to have like a very serious love-hate relationship with like the entire cast of the game because like every character. What's funny is like Pat and I played the original Final Fantasy VII back in the day and stuff like that, and yeah, we fell in love with those characters back then, but now and I can't even say it's nostalgia that's doing it for us. They're so fleshed out. They feel so human and so real that it's like we fell in love with these characters again, but we're actually falling in love with the depth and the substance and the actual lore that these characters represent. And
hmm
this is from playing Final Fantasy VII to Crisis Core to Dirge of Cerberus and all this stuff, and even watching Advent Children and all this stuff. So it's like wow, like like
All right.
it's really incredible just the evolution that this
I
game.
did slip up and see something though, because I did not watch the state of play because like I don't know if I wanted spoilers. I'm still thinking about watching the state of play, but I did not want spoilers for this because I haven't completely finished Intergrade yet, so I
hmm
didn't want spoilers. But I did slip up and see like we see who Marlene's father really was.
I mean, yeah, that you know who that is though, and if you played the original.
It was revealed in Intergrade.
Yeah, no, no, the original, the OG.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, no, that was a huge that was a kind of a a storyline
Because I
that
mean,
you
I
got
knew,
when you
I
went to
knew,
the
I knew
prison.
Barrett adopted her. I knew that, but
hmm
I didn't know like it was actually like a thing in like the original game. I don't remember that. That's how long ago it was for me.
Yeah, you
Like
meet her dad in the coral prison,
okay,
the slums underneath the gold saucer.
okay.
So yeah, so don't worry, you didn't spoil yourself there. That's a
Okay.
known fact. Um, well, I guess I could hit my final game here, since we've definitely been taking a hell of a lot more time than Corey would ever let us take here. But
Well, we're having actual conversations about this, and I think that's the
yeah.
cool thing about this segment tonight.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, there was an actual state of play. Like this is current stuff. No, I'm actually really enjoying this. And just real quick, like I'm glad you guys are saying this because I didn't hop on the Final Fantasy VII remake not because I wasn't interested or anything negative. It's more like I was intimidated by the fact that there's going to be like these three huge games, and I already am like I don't have the time to play a lot of hours of games, so I was intimidated. Like I'll never be able to like catch up and get to it, but hearing that integrate for an RPG isn't kind of quote unquote as long as some really big ones, I actually feel like I can do it now. So thank you.
Yeah. No, I hear Rebirth is gonna be pretty big, but there's supposed to be a lot of side stuff. You know,
Okay.
with the whole new
Well,
open world.
better than the reverse. If
Yeah.
integrate's shorter, so to speak, then I feel more motivated to
Hmm.
get there.
Yeah. Well, for people who are intimidated by really long games, this next game may not be for you. I picked up Persona 3 Reload, the
Nice.
remake of, well, Persona 3, which came out originally on the PlayStation 2. Was it PlayStation? Yeah, it was PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Was the original one. This game has been remade, I think now. This is the third time it has been
Yeah. Three.
remade.
Yeah.
Because you had Fez, which added an extra story, which I hear data miners have found a DLC that's going to have that extra story later. Then you had Portable, which introduced a female main character instead of the male, and people are kind of salty that the female one's not in this one. And then you have this one, Reload, which I think is more remake based off the base game. But I can't fully say that because I only played probably like 25% of Persona 3 when it first came out. So it's pretty cool to go and actually play through it this time. The remake is definitely more in lines with Persona 5 in terms of its graphic styles. Its combat is a lot more closer to Persona 5 than it is to Persona 3. Um, and the dungeons are more the dungeon's more built up like Persona 5, where it just kind of looked like random generated rooms in the Persona 3. Granted, the dungeon is still randomly generated, but it feels more solid than like pathway that opens up a door, follow another pathway kind of thing. Um, it's fun. It's definitely got personality. There's a lot of characters in this game. It definitely feels like a Persona game, though. If you've played it 4, 5, or even 3, you have social links that you build up, which by building those up, you can then forge better personas based on the personality of the social link that you built up. And yeah, and then the other half is dungeon crawling through a dungeon while you're, you know, trying to also balance out your daily life as a student. So it gives you that freedom of choice of how you want to play, whether you want to go crawl into the dungeon or skip the night to go to the arcade and build up some of your characteristics like charm and academics, or like hang out with your friends. But it's been a lot of fun so far. I played it for about 18 hours and I'm still just in June, and this game kind of starts in late April. So it's it's got a while to go, but it's been fun so far.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, and then of course I don't have to spend any time talking about this. Monster Hunter World, Iceborne. I'm still on the train. It's been kind of slow because I'm actually playing other games, But so yeah, like a couple of guys I've been playing with, they've already left me in the dust as far as this replay. Like they're already in master rank, and I'm still in high rank. But I mean, we're all
Hey.
guys who know exactly how to play the game. So like they're just rushing, and I'm just like taking my time this time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right.
Nice.
Stephanie. Did you want to do the community question really quick? We only have one tonight, right?
Yes, but before that, I have my last game. I
She
promise I won't spend
does.
too
Oh, I'm
much
sorry.
time.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay. Let me
her
see. Like I
her
have.
last game is one that none of us has played, so
Oh yeah, and then that definitely takes the floor. Then yeah.
Yeah, no. I just finished the main line of West of Loathing. Um, Again, a game that I left on my backlog that I when I finished, like Inscription, I'm like, dang, I wish I played this sooner because now it's sitting high up on my top games that I've ever played. It is a stick figure RPG. That's a set piece in the Wild West, and you're literally a stick figure that travels west. You can either be a magic bean slinger, which is your mage. You can be a cow puncher, which is your warrior or fighter, and then like a snake oil salesman, and that's your ranger, like gun shooting, McShoots. Script is hilarious, all the way through to the end. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I kind of want to go back because I feel like I didn't uncover all the secrets. So I just want to throw it out there. And there must be like a crazy cult following to this because I just, tweeted like, "Hey, I finished this. I love the physical because it had like a little mini art book." And I got like 6 retweets. I don't think I've ever gotten that many retweets, um, and it's just West of Loathing. I thought like nobody knew about. So I feel like it's one of those games that a lot of people do not know about it, but for the people that know about it, it's like a cult following. I guess the developer's first game is Kingdom of Loathing, which I can only assume is more like of a fantasy medieval setting, and the latest game that this developer put out, asymmetrical, is Shadows over Loathing, which I got to double check the time period. I think it's more of a Roaring Twenties mystery. What do you call it? Kind of mystery. I don't know. I have brain fog, so forgive me. So I'm looking forward to Shadows over Loathing. I didn't purchase it yet because I want to make sure I liked this one first before I, spend my money. So yeah, sorry, that's my last game.
Oh, don't
Uh,
apologize.
we did get a community question, and I
Oh,
should have it pulled up from our buddy Place Austin. So, what do you think about the Disney and Epic thing? What do you want it to be? I honestly don't even know what I'm looking at. So I kind of needed to catch up on this. Looking at an article from Forbes, Disney and Epic Games partnership signals an exciting future for gaming and fandom. So the Walt Disney Company and Epic Games announced, well, it says today, but that article was dated, today.
it is. Yeah,
Um,
it's today. Yeah.
mhm.
they so February 7th that they would collaborate on an all-new games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of Disney's stories and experiences, and that Disney will also invest $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games alongside the multi-year project. So, um, kind of goes in line with everyone else finally jumping in on the gaming bandwagon like Netflix had and Amazon had. So, um, pause there and see if anyone has any thoughts.
I don't have any thoughts. Like I was sideswiped by this one.
It's
Like I
it's
don't know. Like I feel like honestly it was the next evolution for Disney anyway. I feel like all the other stuff that's been out that like technically is a Disney franchise, a Disney slash Marvel slash Star Wars franchise, was them gingerly dipping their toe into like the gaming space in the first place. So the fact that they're following Sony, because like Sony's the other like majority partner that's got majority shares in Epic stock. Like so like Disney. It's about time someone else showed up. Like it's mega corporation Disney.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, right now people are definitely not looking at mergers in a good light. Especially with the recent news of Microsoft today. Just
Mm-hmm.
basically closed off a fan favorite studio. So a lot of people are very pissed off.
Which studio
Is
got
that Toys
closed?
for Bob?
Toys for Bob has just announced that they're
Oh my
closing the
god!
door.
How did I miss that?
It was just recent, like within the last few hours. Like a notice came out that the Bay Area had over 100 more layoffs, and that the studio Toys for Bob is closing. And people are
Yo,
upset because they were
I
the
don't even
ones that
think
revived the
VGC.
Spiral and Crash series again.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that's a tough pill to
actually
swallow.
there was rumors that Toys for Bob might be on the block, but shit, the fact that VGC hasn't even reported it yet is just wild.
Yeah, it's so people, it'd be more kind of worrisome if another big corporation buys into a video game company and, maybe starts laying off people again. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. Like this kind of makes me feel queasy, but it is what it is. I mean, out of all partnerships, I guess it makes sense because isn't Epic Games kind of the one that hasn't really been doing so great?
Epic
Because
Games is Fortnite.
well, no, yeah, they are
Yeah.
Fortnite, but as far as their storefront's really
Yeah.
not that big because of Steam is all. So I guess in that sense, and if you're looking at just being business savvy, partnering up with the people behind Fortnite, I can see it. Um, I guess it all depends on what your thoughts are with Disney, because there's the people that are Disney diehards, there's those that are indifferent, and there's those that are former Disney diehards that don't die so hard anymore, which is myself. I grew up loving Disney. I kind of feel like they've just turned into a big disgusting conglomerate. And when I say disgusting, I don't hate them. I've fallen out of love of Disney. I'll still take my son there. I still watch a Disney movie from here or there. I just feel like the innovation and everything that's there is just not so much anymore. So maybe the partnership with Epic will change things. I don't know. We'll see. What I do see, because Nintendo over here said not too long ago, we want to kind of be, in not so direct words, kind of like a Disney, a multimedia company, right? So they're like video games, merchandise, movies now, whereas Disney's like movies, merchandise, video games. I kind of see an East versus West maybe in a decade from now, because when companies merge and there's fewer competitors, I can see a Nintendo and a Disney being like direct competitors someday.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird to see Mario and the Mouse get into a slap fight.
I would pay money to see that.
So are we saying that Mickey's gonna be in the next Smash?
Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
we're halfway there.
it would have been a possibility if Kingdom Hearts was more of a Nintendo exclusive than a PlayStation exclusive.
Is there
Like,
such thing as a Disney-based brawler? I know there's a Nickelodeon-based brawler, but
A Disney based?
no.
No. But did you guys see the mod for MK1?
no.
It has all the traditional like Disney characters like duking it out. Like I mean, from Snow White and Cinderella to Simba, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet. Like it's a mod that's got it turns all the MK characters into like the famous Disney characters, and
That's awesome.
they're doing the Mortal Kombat thing. So like bloody combos, fatalities, the X-ray things where basically people's bones are being just like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I saw it and I was like, oh my god, and
I need to look this up.
I need to download the mod before it disappears.
No, seriously, like that's wow.
Oh my god, I would get a copyright strike so fast on my YouTube if I
I need to find this somewhere. That's pretty awesome.
Hold on. I'll
Well, while you're
find it.
finding that, I can imagine Epic helping Disney make a Disney-based a Smash, Super Smash Brothers of Disney. Like, I think that would do pretty well. Um, I does
Hold
because I'm
on.
not a
Here
Fortnite
it comes.
person.
Here it comes.
Okay,
Here it comes. Oh, I was here. Here it comes. There you go.
there we go.
Get ready to laugh. Yeah, we got Winnie the Pooh like beating down Rafiki.
Oh my gosh. Your favorite Disney characters have gone rogue in this unique Mortal Kombat mod. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Lovable. Hold on, when you see the roster, and they even got like more even current ones. Like Raya is in there from Raya and the Dragon.
I need this in my life.
This is it's wild. It's wild. Check it out. Check it out. If you just Google it, and you will find it.
The modding community, they're beautiful people.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right,
Hold
thank you
on.
for making my night.
I-
So, I don't know. Yeah, I guess more to come with Disney and Epic. So, we'll see. Okay.
All right.
That's all the questions that I had seen.
Oh no, this mod is not available. Come on, don't do this to us. This See, it's the gift and the curse of being a PC gamer. Like you can do stuff like this, but you got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you know what? I guess we got a couple of topics we can get through. Because this show is about its topics, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So while Pat stepped away, we'll go ahead and start talking about this particular topic. I'm posing the question like, how should us gamers like deal with the rumor mill? Because like, if you haven't been living on if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't realized that there's just we're only how many days into 2024? We're 38 days into 2024, and the amount of gaming rumors in the last 38 days is staggering. Like there's nobody knows who's on first, what's on second, which way is up, like is the sky blue? Like nobody knows what's going on right now with all the gaming rumors. We've got everything from Microsoft no longer being a hardware company to to Sony's bringing back a new handheld and all this stuff, and and some of the in between stuff, like the Toys for Bob thing I said a moment ago. Like I thought that was a rumor, and apparently it's true now. Stuff like that. How, I'm one of those people typically like when it comes to rumors in in the gaming community. I'm always like believe half of what you see and none of what you hear,
Mm-hmm.
and like because like I'm too old to be getting when it's like the really good positive rumors and stuff like that. I'm too old to get my hopes up and stuff like that just to just be told nope, that wasn't a thing, or vice versa, like the doom and gloom that comes when like oh like a company's on another development company is on a chopping block, oh like an entire division of like a company is like disappearing or being folded into something else, or even worse, like one of the craziest rumors I remember hearing, and it turned out to be like absolutely bonkers, was okay. So a few years back, it had to do with Naughty Dog, and I'm trying to make sure I get this right because like they were saying that Naughty Dog, even though Activision has the rights to Crash Bandicoot, that Naughty Dog was going to release a Crash Bandicoot game, and the sad part about it is like like a good portion of the community were like no, like they can't do that unless it's like a special project, that's being licensed to them from Naughty Dog and stuff like that. I mean, from Activision. Um, but then there was like another like just half of the fan base that was just like rabid about it. Like they're like, oh, it's happening and all this stuff. It's like Swifties versus the Hive. All this stuff. It was crazy. And then eventually, well, nobody ever came out and squashed the rumor. The rumor just kind of died. But you can still tell people, you can still ask people nowadays, like, hey, like, you heard anything about that Naughty Dog possible remake of Crash Bandicoot? And somebody will say something. I'm not just talking about like the bit of Crash Bandicoot that was in Uncharted 3. I mean, I'm sorry, Uncharted 4. I'm not talking about that. That was what the closest we got to like Naughty Dog actually having their hands on Bandicoot. But I don't know, like the rumors are just crazy, out of control, and like I feel like we're just being like bashed about the head like every 5 seconds with a new rumor and stuff like that. Like like if I go on to, let's see, I'm not gonna go to VGC. Let's just go to
Comic book.
let's go to, huh?
Comicbook.com. They have a ton. They report on all rumors.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to
So while you're
comic book.
looking that up, it's part of what comes hand in hand with social media and just an omnipresent presence of information from the internet, because rumors and gossip have always existed since man was alive. But back before a lot of internet, we only read rumors with like the junk magazines at the store, right? Or through word of mouth. But now we have the internet and we constantly have our phones. I think that's where this rumors that always have existing, it's just like it's regularly appearing to us. And I feel like how gamers should deal with rumors is kind of like how a parent should teach kids about playing with fire. Sure, playing with fire is a lot of fun if you know how to play with it right, but kids don't know how to play with fire. And I say that meaning I do indulge in the occasional rumor because I like the discourse that may come from it if you can have a proper discourse about it.
Mhm.
But I believe the mass public does not know how to have that discussion.
Yeah,
That's the problem. It's okay to talk about a rumor, but people just, like you said, they're foaming at the mouth and really rabid and take like Diana Hill stances on something that, and here's the other flip side of things, like in politics. Oh my goodness, all the, I don't want to use the term fake news because that's kind of a term that feels icky to me. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of misinformation on many
How
sides.
about alternative facts?
Yeah, whatever. Like whatever that term is like we all know. Oh boy. We all know that there's many sides to any story. And I really wish gamers just would pause and realize that.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Cause like my God, like there's the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Like
Oh,
we don't know absolutely anything about it. Honestly,
mm-mm.
the only thing we know for sure is that it's got an Nvidia chip in it. That's the only thing we honestly know for sure. We don't know if it's going to have an OLED screen or if it's just going to have a traditional LCD screen. We don't know. We don't. Well, we kind of know. We may know that they're using the traditional Joy Cons, but we don't know that for real either. The dock is different. We know the hardware, the dock is a little bit different. But beyond that, like everything out there just sounds like every time I see a rumor about the next Nintendo Switch, and we don't even know if it's going to be a Switch. Let's be for real. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, dude. That I have rumor fatigue of. Like I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it, but there was the rumor, well, kind of remember when company that used to be Game Shark, everyone like flipped their lid when they mentioned the successor about whatever release date they
yeah,
had. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. Like it's just wild, and I'm like, and some of it I'm trying to figure out, like because I do believe that sometimes the companies themselves are responsible for some of this stuff. It's like let's just whip up the fan base today.
Mm.
It's like it's like EA woke up this morning and sought violence.
Yep, yep. It's like let's feed like cause a feeding frenzy today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish for the gaming community to take rumors with a grain of salt, which I know will never happen. It's like, listen, it's okay to indulge, have a little fun once in a while, and fantasize about what the rumor could be, but then you gotta kind of stop there. Don't and just focus on the facts, or just move on. There's a lot more to life than rumors. Cause come on, that's high school shit. Sorry.
Mhm.
Once you start taking rumors seriously, you've got the mentality of a high schooler.
You know what? Just for laughs, real quickly, let me go to Twitter's trending and let's see if there's actually something in here video game related. Give me 1 second.
Goodness, rumors. Yeah, Microsoft rumors, the Switch 2 rumors, studios shutting down rumors.
Yep.
Let's
Um.
see. It's
Nintendo Direct
trending.
rumors.
Oh, Nintendo Direct rumors. Trending Shadow Heart, but that's not a rumor, that's a character.
All right. Here we go. Trending. Um. Oh, my
Breath
algorithm.
of the
My algorithm is jacked up because I'm not getting anything as far as gaming rumors. Oh, Toys for Bob is in here.
Yep. Choice for Bob. Kingdom Hearts, Tifa. Well, Tifa I can get why. Why is Kingdom Hearts trending? Oh, because of Disney.
Mm. They should
Yeah.
have let that go.
Aw, there's Kingdom Hearts fluffy shoe, like room shoes, like slippers. Why can't they call them slippers? Aw, stuff
Um.
that
Pat, well, how do you deal with rumors? How do you deal with rumors in the gaming industry?
Yeah. Take it with a grain of salt, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'm kind of tired of just all the speculation. And it's just like, you know what? Just show it to me. Like, I'm tired of people being like, oh, the next, Zelda Wind Waker Twilight Princess remake is going to be announced on the next Nintendo Direct. And they've been saying that for like the last 3, 4 years now. Like, I don't know. It just
oh,
gets tiring.
aren't there like now? Like I saw an occasional headline or something about the PlayStation 6 specs.
Yeah,
Why are we talking about PS6 now?
I don't know.
Why? Why? Come on, guys, please
There's not
stop.
even there's not even a projected date for when the system is supposed to be out. Sony hasn't even said. Like, I guess it's because Microsoft is trying to get their new system out by what 2026 was it 2026?
That was 27, but
Oh, 27. Okay.
who knows?
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait until we hear what Microsoft has to say here in the
Next week,
next week,
right? Yeah.
what the game plan is.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Which, by the way, like
That is an example of rumors flying out of control.
the rumors
hmm
flying. And you know what? It's honestly starting to turn into a shit show, and I'm not sure if actually, no, I don't want to talk about it because like this is one of those ones where I feel like Corey needs to be on the show.
hmm
Because Corey's Team Green.
Yeah,
Corey's
he
team
is.
He is.
Corey.
It's a
Yeah,
good
Who
thing
Corey's
he's
talks
on
Team
about
Green.
vacation
Xbox
because
when
I'm
he's on
pretty.
Nintendo Pow Block?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing he's on vacation now. While all this news is happening,
hmm
Hmm.
gives him a good distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, okay. So I guess this kind of works out as our second topic, given that we're coming off of the room mill. Like, y'all, what happened to just solid video games being released? Like, you guys have heard like the massive shit show that's Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, right?
hmm
Mhm.
I mean, and we have other like nice little bangers like the day before, you know. What else? Callisto Protocol could have been stronger, you know. I mean, what is going? City Skylines too. Jesus Christ! Like that was on my wish list.
Mhm. Honestly, I still say the best games come from Japan. Those are the ones where you get the more complete and like actually solidly built games.
Mhm.
I hate to say it, but I think, yeah, a lot of it is the Western mentality. Just make games that'll make you money, or like the quick and wicked way. And again, it's a generalization, doesn't apply to everyone, but in the Japanese culture, there's a lot more focus and emphasis on quality. And I'm not just speaking about video games, I'm not Japanese, but I'm Chinese, and I just have a general understanding of where priorities lie between Eastern and Westerners. I feel like it's a factor. Um, Also, I just feel like in general, this is where I'm starting to sound old. The quality of things, there's not to say that quality games and media don't exist in the modern day and age. I just feel like they are less frequent. I'm looking at all types, like movies, shows, music, um, and video games in the last couple decades. Look, if we're going back to video games, look at the number of solid IP. Most of the recognized ones have come out in the 80s or 90s. How many recognizable IPs that we have generated in the last decade? Definitely some, but not a lot. Um,
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know if it's because we're relying on remakes and remasters to make the money instead of coming up with innovative new IP, or maybe it's become too risky, financially risky. Um,
Well,
just a couple of
it wouldn't
things.
be financially risky if they didn't throw quads of millions of dollars. Uh, I don't feel like I honestly feel like just like with Hollywood right now, Hollywood needs to learn this lesson. Like, you don't need this much goddamn money to make the
Mhm.
product. You don't, because I mean, like, for example, like I just saw Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
Is that the newest one?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
wonderful movie. Wonderful movie. Unfortunately, though, its timing window for when it got released, and because of COVID and all that stuff, like, gave delays in production and all this stuff. Like, the movie did not make the money to justify it being an actual hit, which means that it didn't make what it took to recoup the cost of developing the film, and the marketing. Marketing is fucking insane for movies, and it is even more batshit for games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I guarantee you at least two video games are gonna have a spot somewhere on the Super Bowl. One of them is definitely going to be an EA game. I can tell you that. And the other one will probably be a PlayStation game.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's my prediction. But I know for sure we're going to see at least two video game, like spots during
Mhm.
the Super Bowl. You know, um, apparently, and shoot, it's like $500,000 to get advertising spots right now for
Mhm.
the Super Bowl.
That's for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why there's that mentality of you just need to shovel buckets of money to create a solid video game. Um, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Sorry, I
Well,
was going with that.
there is a part of it, like it's the technology behind it and stuff like that. But I feel like, honestly, like when it comes to console gaming and stuff like that, like once people learn the ins and outs of the actual hardware and the chipsets, like for whether it's PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. Once you learn the nuances of like the actual tech that you're working with, it shouldn't cost exponentially more dollars to make a game for that same system.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, there are going to be some things that are like driving factors for it, because like like companies, for example, Square Enix. Oh, and this is good. This is a good one. Actually, I can use this. But Square Enix, for example, like, yeah, like they may have a breakthrough with their existing in-house tech, and all of a sudden, like, then like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is beautiful. You know, is beautiful, and you can also tell that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is like, I want to say, like a half a step up from Intergrade. You can tell it just looks more and more gorgeous and beautiful. It's robust. It's vibrant and stuff. Like, it looks like a living game, honestly, and stuff like that. But yeah, but when it
Mm.
comes to solid games, I'm glad you're back, Pat, because like speaking of Final Fantasy, it seemed to me like The only time Square Enix makes really good games is if it has the Final Fantasy name in front of it.
I mean, they have quality
Well,
smaller titles like Octopath
lately.
was. They're just. If I would say it goes back to the marketing again. They're gonna market the shit out of Final Fantasy versus Octopath, but I wouldn't say that Octopath was a bad game.
I'm not saying that either,
hmm
but we got Forspoken recently.
I think that one was cued more towards a Western audience, and it followed more Western beliefs, and they wanted to get it out as fast
Stranger in
as they could.
Paradise.
hmm
Well, you
Strangers
know
in
what? Another.
Paradise actually did good, I think.
Well, you know
I
what
haven't
else
heard.
is?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm no. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm
No,
doing this to.
I'm doing this to you. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to necessarily get off of Square Enix because the only thing I just want to throw in is not every single game needs to be an open world, 100-hour technological prowess thing. I think that's part of the budget. Yes, it's nice to create something like that and put the money in, but you can still have a good quality game,
Hmm?
but not be as graphically intensive, not open world, and that's how you can save money there. You don't that's not required to make a good game.
You know what?
Maybe we've
I got the
yeah,
perfect game for you.
yeah.
Also, speaking of Square Enix, you know what their second biggest title was for 2023?
What was
What?
that?
Dragon Quest Monsters, and that came out in the
Monsters hit.
middle of December. And that game
Mm.
is nowhere near the quality of Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the game looks like it came off of a Nintendo Wii. Like the graphics are not good. Like Dragon Quest
Mhm.
11 looks a hell of a lot more beautiful. But this game, it's quality. It didn't have a big budget, but it has a good brand name behind it, and the gameplay's solid.
All right, well, there you go. See, that's another thing.
Mm, Yeah.
So what do we think? Do we think it's the budgets that are killing these games? Do we think it's just I don't want to say shoddy development, even though like we know a shoddy developed game when we see one, like like Redfall, for example,
Hmm.
Justice League. I mean, I'm sorry, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. um you know is it development? Is it how much money's getting thrown at it, or what is it? Because I don't know, like we talk about this time and time again, uh, that like games that don't have the budget do well. Like indie titles, for example, games that don't have the budget do really well. There's some, I don't know, maybe there's just a quirk or like a certain appeal or magic behind them and stuff like that. And then you have like blockbuster AAA titles that are just crashing and burning. Is it gamer fatigue? What is it?
I don't know. I think I think I'll stick to my guns as far as just like it being multifactorial, right? I feel that it part of it is business practice. How does a developer and publisher handle how much they put in marketing and all that stuff. And also just the time to take risk for original IP versus trying to rehash something or lean on it's like example Suicide Squad as a crutch, like hoping that the name or the franchise will kind of make them big bucks and stuff like that. Apologize if I'm talking in circles. I just feel like there's
No.
several factors into it, and I just think we kind of lost their a lot of the bigger developers and publishers lost their way, and that's why indies made such a huge impact in the gaming industry since like around what 2017 or something. Like
Mhm.
that's where a lot of the real innovative, fun stuff have come in. It's just that unfortunately, unless you hit that one in a million lucky strike and gain attention and go viral, many might not see the financial success of larger developed games.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this one bit right here, and then we can go ahead and get ready to wrap up the show.
Hmm.
Um, I, there's a part of me that wonders sometimes, like, are we just in for another for another version of the video game recession? Because
Mm.
I feel like back during the PS3 era, like we were getting kind of close to a recession.
Now, when you say recession,
I'm sorry, not recession. I'm sorry, depression. Like, okay, like the video, like the video, the most historic video game depression was, of course, like the Atari 2600 era,
right?
because
Okay.
yeah, like it looked like that was it looked like what happened during that time frame. Video games was just not going to be a thing, and then the Nintendo Entertainment System comes out like 4 years later, and
Hmm.
it's a whole new ball of wax, and like like boom, it's like a rebirth or a renaissance, of video games, and then like it was a nice high ride because you had Nintendo Entertainment, you had Nintendo, you had Sega, eventually Sony got into the ring and stuff like that, and then it seemed like there was choices everywhere. It seemed like there was like developers, publishers and stuff were hungry, you know. So like there was always something out there to play. There was something. Even the bad games, and to some extent, were like really good, or worthwhile playing and stuff like that. And then so like Sega eventually drops out during the PS2 run. The Dreamcast is the last system for them. Microsoft shows up later with the Xbox. The GameCube is out and running strong, and then we got to like the 360, the PS3, and I think GameCube was still a thing until like halfway through that cycle, and then the Wii showed up, and it feels like, with the exception of what was going on over in Nintendo's corner with the Wii, it seemed like it seemed like stagnation hit, and that stagnation stayed around for a while because at the time I was working at GameStop, and it seemed like nobody from the customer base to like just us workers there, nobody was getting really excited for stuff. Like, yeah, like Grand Theft Autos were coming out and stuff like that, and we had a few gems here or there, like Bayonetta, Vanquish,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But for the most part, like not everybody was running to stores to like get games, and not it wasn't just GameStop, like people just weren't buying games. Like it seemed like more of the same, like Mass Effect was out there, and like that was, and like the few Pokemon games that were actually good quality back then. But uh, so yeah, like it was a weird time, and then the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, and then it kind of like resurged and got back in there, and then the Switch dropped and it just went nuts.
That is a very excellent point you bring up. And I am no economic expert by any means, but I do know the basics of there's always ups and downs, right? There's
Hmm.
always a cycle. The severity and the type of cycle will vary over time. And what we're seeing now, with just about what a third of the gaming industry has been laid off, um, a big boom of great games, but now what's next? Big question mark.
Yeah.
I'm not saying for sure we're definitely going to see a crash per se, but I do feel like some sort of change is going to occur. Yes, maybe we're going to fall into a minor quote unquote recession where people aren't as hyped anymore until something else happens, whether it's the Disneys, the Amazons step in and shift what gaming is. Is it Microsoft changing their strategy? Not that I'm rooting one way or the other. I'm just saying maybe that might be like something's going to happen. I also feel like because of all the money that we just talked about being put into games, almost makes the gaming industry feel bloated. And usually, when you get that sense of bloated, that usually means something's going to pop. Not to be
Yeah.
gross. That's what happened to the housing industry. Won't be the same, but like the similar principles. If things get bloated financially, but we're not recouping, the business side isn't really recouping, something's got to give one way or the other.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Um. Well, we'll leave that topic at that. I mean,
But
because
that's a really great one. It inspires me to maybe I can write an editorial about it.
yeah. I'm just saying, and also okay. One more thing, and then
Mm,
we'll end it here. Maybe this is the reason why so many remakes and remasters of games from the past two console generations are starting to show up. Maybe it's also why, like, like companies are dipping all the way back. Like, we're going back to PS2 era, PS2 and PS1 era, and Super Nintendo era, which, by the way, I heard something that was really insane. I heard that, like Super Mario RPG, outsold like Super Mario RPG's original run on the Super Nintendo. I thought that was kind of a really crackpot thing for someone to say. For the simple fact is, like, Super Mario RPG was super niche back then, and it was printed on. Well, I mean, technically, like, Mario RPG remake is like printed on cartridges, technically, stuff like that. But I think the main difference here is that, it's like there's over 170 million Nintendo Switches out there in the world.
Yeah, there's more availability in modern day gaming. I mean, the Switch finally became the number one selling console in all of history in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was crazy when someone just like said, yeah, like the Mario RPG outsold like its original run of Super Nintendo. Hell yeah, it outsold the original run of the Super Nintendo, because guess what? Cartridges were $80 back then. And like, if you think spending money now is insane for video games, like back then $80 was a lot of fucking money for a game. Like, shit. Like I bought Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6, as the modern gamers call it now. Those came out literally within months of each other. I was out of $200. And guess what? I didn't even own a Super Nintendo. I bought the games because I had a friend that had a Super Nintendo. I bought the games because I knew I wanted to play them.
Dude, do you still have that Chrono Trigger? I'm pretty sure the original Chrono Trigger is worth a lot.
I'll have to check. I kind of lost track of. I still have like some. I still have some of my old actual cartridges. And stuff like cartridges. Like, I have stuff going all the way back to Super Nintendo for sure. And I'm pretty sure if I dig through my mom's like attic, I'll probably find my old gold foil like Legend of Zelda game. I kept that. As a matter of fact, I kept Legend of Zelda, Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Super Mario 3, um, Bionic Commando, Metroid,
hmm
and I believe I have one other, Contra. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I still remember having those cartridges in my possession now. I'm not sure where they may be at this point, in my mom's house, but I still have those. I still have a few Super NES games, you know. And I have a lot of classic PS1 games that are not greatest hits editions. Because
Ooh, okay.
apparently when the greatest hits editions came out, it just killed the value of those games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. I want to go ahead and thank everyone for listening and/or watching the Boss Rush podcast. Appreciate you guys. Always wonderful to have like all of our listeners, the entire audience, as part of the Boss Rush Network. It's amazing. If you enjoyed our discussions, please do subscribe on on YouTube or your favorite podcast application, wherever that be. You can also support us over at Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Any tier, remember, any tier grants you access to all of our podcasts. So follow us on social media as well at Boss Rush Network. Stephanie, Pat, thank you for your time as always.
Great discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, we did all right, given that Corey's playing hooky on us. We did all right.
And I spend half my time in the bathroom, so.
No, nobody needs to know that. Nobody knows that.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Until next week, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.